Now, this is breaking news from the WCCO Live Desk on CBS News Minnesota.
Hello, I'm Maria Lizignoli. It's 10 o'clock live in the WCCO newsroom, and we begin with breaking news. A sad ending to the search for a missing teen. You're looking live at the Anoka County Sheriff's Office, where any moment now they will start a press conference with more information. We'll bring it to you as soon as it begins. The Columbia Heights Police Department and Anoka County Sheriff's Office announced this morning that human remains were located over the weekend, and after testing, the remains were identified as Jordan Manny Collins Jr. 16-year-old Manny disappeared several weeks ago while visiting his father in Columbia Heights. So far, no information on where his remains were found, but as you can see, authorities just took the podium and will beginning to learn more.
Law enforcement will be providing updates in the investigation into the disappearance of Jordan Collins Jr., commonly known by his nickname of Manny. Speaking today is Columbia Heights Police Chief Matt Markham, Anoka County Sheriff Brad Wise. They are also joined by BCA Assistant Special Agent in Charge Colleen Myrie and FBI Special Agent in Charge Alvin Winston Sr. Please note, while the investigation updates will be shared, the ongoing nature of the investigation may prevent some details from being shared at this time. With that.
All right, thank you for being here. Manny Collins, age 16, of Columbia Heights, Minnesota, was last seen on May 8th, 2025, and reported missing on May 12th, 2025. Since law enforcement's involvement, multiple individuals have been interviewed, evidence has been forensically analyzed, and coordinated searches have occurred. The investigation led law enforcement to search the waste management landfill in Elk River beginning on June 4th, 2025. While conducting landfill search this past weekend, a human body was located. Further DNA testing was conducted, and sadly, the body has been identified as belonging to Manny Collins. CHPD, Anoka County Sheriff's Office, BCA, and FBI, and all agencies who have assisted in the search expressed their condolences to Manny's mother, Ashley, his family, and friends. Manny's death is a gigantic loss to our community, and we stand with you during this time. The autopsy has been completed. Cause of death has not yet been determined, pending further testing. CHPD, Anoka County Sheriff's Office, BCA, and FBI are continuing to investigate Manny's death. Teams remain at the landfill searching for evidence. We all want to ensure that justice is served. Every available resource is being directed toward the lawful arrest of anyone responsible for Manny's death.
All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Brad Wise. I'm the Anoka County Sheriff. We called this press conference because obviously we no longer need the public's assistance to try to find Manny. Unfortunately, fortunately and unfortunately, he's been found. I want the public to know also that the investigation is not stagnant. I think the fact that a 4-week search of the landfill illustrates pretty clearly the tenacity of law enforcement in bringing justice. This is a complex investigation, so we're going to be guarded about some information that we do share. That said, is that we are going to continue to work until we are able to seek justice for Manny's mom, Ashley. Other important partners have been helping us along the way, not least of which is the Midwest Regional Forensic Laboratory, which has conducted has processed the biological evidence. I will like to note, though, that we would continue to ask for the public's assistance, especially if they may know something about Manny or his habits in the last several months. But if somebody has a thought that might be helpful for investigators, the BCA resource line still exists, the 1-877-996-6222, or the BCA tip email address at bca.tips@state.mn.us. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank all the agencies that helped us with the search, not least of which is our federal and state partners who have been essential. The FBI flew in experts from Virginia on landfill searches. that were able to help us coordinate our efforts to be the most efficient we can be with the staff. Over the course of the last 4 weeks, we literally had hundreds of searchers from over 30 different agencies. We had young people from forensic science colleges like Hamline University, to fire departments, to police departments, to sheriff's offices. All have been participating in this search. We literally combed through, at this point, almost 180,000 cubic feet of refuse, literally one rake at a time. I assure you it's a sobering experience to work in a landfill like that only to discover someone else's child. Again, just to restate, the tenacity of law enforcement will keep moving forward from this date. We will find justice. Right now, the most important matter at this stage is that the medical examiner is conducting a review, and we're looking forward to hearing a cause of death. So, thank you.
We will open it up to any questions.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You guys to the landfill.
Yeah, that was, we were offered information that led to a video, and that video showed some evidence that would suggest the body might have made its way into a dumpster and into a garbage truck. So that's what led us.
Is Jordan Collins Sr. still in the area? Is he cooperating with investigators?
We're still talking to Jordan Collins Sr. So yes.
Is he a person of interest, Sheriff?
I'm going to step aside from that question for a moment. It's still all part of the ongoing investigation. But of course, the next stage for us is getting from the place now that we're at where we found the body. That's an important piece. There's lots of other forensic and medical examination that needs to be done before we take the next steps. But we're happy with the progress of the investigation, and we're going to keep moving forward until we get an arrest.
Can you all narrow down like when you found the remains, like Saturday or Sunday? Or
yeah, the human body was found on Saturday afternoon, and it took some time to make the DNA verification, and that DNA verification happened yesterday.
Were all of his remains recovered?
It's important that we maintain the integrity of the investigation, so I'm going to step aside from that question if you don't mind.
Can you explain again, you talked about it as 180,000 cubic feet. It took a month. What do you do? Dig deep into a landfill? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, actually the landfill operator, Waste Management, can't speak highly enough of them. They've been enormously helpful. They geofence trash that goes into their landfill, so they had a pretty clear idea of which refuse to search through. They used the term cell, so they knew that the garbage truck we were interested would have made a deposit in a specific cell. Interesting side note, that cell was 200 feet by 200 feet by 4 feet compacted, and so bigger than a football field, or something approaching a football field, only 4 feet deep of compacted trash. And it's one scoop at a time loaded in a truck, and then spread out, and then we go through it with rakes. It was a hand search with a rake. That's why it was so labor intensive. Literally something approaching 10,000 hours of work has been put in so far to raking through that refuse.
And just to go into that just a little bit more, so like you knew that this dumpster in particular is of interest. Was the garbage company able to tell you that that dumpster gets put in this area of the landfill, and that therefore that's where we should search?
It's more like the landfill knew where they had garbage trucks fill a cell. So they had a numbered cell, and they would sell trucks from that particular day would have all put their trash into that cell, and then they close the cell, and then they move on to another cell. So they're very organized in how trash is deposited.
And do you know where the truck came from, or anything about before it got to the landfill, like where the?
Yeah, that would be known information. all the trucks are, geo-tracked by their employers and such. So it was all important investigative work that was done. A lot of work was done behind the scenes with detectives. It wasn't just the landfill. The detectives, both our detectives and Columbia Heights detectives, have been very active in backtracking that stuff. Yes.
I'm a suspect. Do you have a person of interest right now?
Did I have a pickup in Columbia Heights? Is that?
Yes. Yes.
Can you tell when the cause of death was? He's been missing since the 8th. Based on the detail of what you know a lot about where this garbage came from and when it happened. You got a video. Any idea of the timeline? The time of death, not cause?
Well, he was last known to be alive May 8th, and we can backtrack the garbage truck to May 13th, so our time window would be in there.
And Sheriff, can you shed some more light on, I mean, we've heard it, from the mother, some details, but what happened with Manny? Like, did he go to visit his father, and that's where he was last seen? What can you tell us concerning, his last known movements when he was alive?
Yeah, I think I'm going to retain that information for now, if you don't mind.
Just follow up on the suspect situation. Questions were asked about his father, but in general, forget about his father. Is there a person of interest in this crime? I think you had made that clear earlier. There was.
Yes, there is a person of
But you
interest.
won't say who that is.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Just to go back to the video, so the trash was taken from Columbia Heights. Is there a specific location, or you want to share with us?
The dumpster was in Columbia Heights, and I'll leave it at that.
Okay. We'll take one more question.
How close are we to more news, such as a possible, I know you don't announce when arrest is going to be made, but might there be more news later today, or are we looking at significant time here?
We're in constant communication with the Anoka County Attorney's Office, and a decision on what the next steps of the case will be a collaboration between our office, Columbia Heights PD, and the Anoka County Attorney's Office. It's too soon for me to speculate on that, but we are waiting on forensic evidence to come back, some of the processing, those sorts of things.
Is this now a murder investigation?
Well, a dead body wound up in a landfill, so I guess draw your own conclusion, yes.
And with that, we will be in contact with further information. I do have a news release to share.
All right.
So thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming.
We have just learned more about the discovery of the body of 16-year-old Manny Collins. He was last seen, according to this press conference and reporting we have done, on May 8th of this year. He was reported missing on May 12th. What we just learned from this news conference is that a video showed evidence of a body in a dumpster in Columbia Heights that was taken to the landfill in Elk River on May 13th. And authorities said that they began searching the landfill on June 4th, and they searched hundreds of thousands of cubic square feet of this trash. And authorities say that they raked through individual pieces, and that is where they discovered the body. They discovered the body on this last Saturday, and it took until just yesterday on Monday for the DNA to be verified as to being to Manny Collins Jr. We know that authorities are still talking to Jordan Collins Sr., Manny's father, but they said they would not say if he is a person of interest. They did say, though, overall, there is a person of interest in this case. They continue to have teams remain at the landfill to search for evidence. They're continuing to investigate what caused Manny's death. They have a medical examiner looking into that right now. They did not say what the cause of death was. They're continuing to ask for the public's assistance, obviously not to find Manny, but if anyone knows anything about Manny or about his habits over the last couple of months, you can reach out to officials. They say the BCA tip line, the phone number, and the email still exist. So definitely reach out to those if you know anything about Manny Collins Jr. Our Jonah Kaplan was at that press conference just now. He will bring us a full report coming up in our news at noon. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more of today's top stories in just a bit.